Well, as you saw from the previous video, we made it to Romania. Waking up in the rolling hills around the village of Garbova was really refreshing. Cold mornings, warm fires, and the church bells. This is exactly what we needed when we needed it. Walking through the old barn out the back and up a hill affords a view worthy of several cups of coffee. We've decided to spend the first few nights here at the Saxon house, as it made for nice, easy day trips to different places. The Saxon house has an old and interesting history. Most recently, Valley and his wife Deanna refurbished it, keeping it grounded in its roots while allowing for modern touches. Don't let that 1909 date fool you, as in the barn I saw beams with dates of early 1700s. In the courtyard every morning, though the air was chilly and it was a completely different landscape, there was a warm familiarity, the kind you get when you feel at home. One could definitely tell this place was cared for with love and passion, always alive with kittens to welcome the day along with Alba, their rescue. In their expansive back garden area, the peacefulness continued with small, random garden areas and fruit trees of all kinds. Again, what a great place to wake up in. The town itself had an expansive history as well. This was a Saxon village. Starting around the 13th century, Saxons from the German-Austria area settled in Transylvania.
Another fortification where they ran or they kept the women and the children during war.
So how old is this roughly?
It's built in the 13th century
Wow.
till the 15th century.
That's very, very old.
The parish house is 15th century.
Okay.
The fortress is 12th century.
Oh, okay.
And the Church of Hill also. It was the first church. And then in the 15th century they built the other one.
I see, okay.
And this one remained only as a cemetery and for military purposes.
Okay.
And then it burned in 18 something.
What's the color?
Yeah.
So old looking. So this was built in like the 13th century?
Yes, it was built in 1241, destroyed in 1242 because of the Mongol invasion, rebuilt, destroyed again in 1281 when the Mongols came back from Western Europe, and then destroyed in the 15th century, the 16th, the 17th by the Ottoman.
So everybody's had their finger on it.
Yes, yeah.
And it's still here.
As we rounded a corner of the church, Valley drew our attention to a monument that instantly connected something we noticed earlier. Remember the name on the front of the house? A brief reminder of the history that isn't spoken about. The after the war moments.
Those on this side died after the war, deported in deportation in Russia. And if you look at the number 15, this is Maria Engberg, the one who lived in the house, because it was the number 15 before.
Maria Ingber was a resident of the house before the World Wars. After the war, when the Russians moved in, she was deported to Russia, where she died less than a year later, simply because she was an ethnic German. This plaque, made long ago, still hangs in the Saxon house as a reminder of the people that touched this land, be it for good or evil. We simply came to the Saxon house for the agro-tourism side of it, a break in the chaos, but ended up leaving with a deeper understanding and connection to the history that runs deep here. The next day rolls around, and we find ourselves getting a late start for our day trip to Cebu. Morning coffees and conversations allow time to slip away all too quickly around here. But pressing forward, we hit the highway. Arriving in Cebu, we get parked and start our trek in, passing the first of many weddings we saw that day. Once we got into the main square, we started to notice the unique architecture around us. It was as if we were being watched, but not by the people or the cats, but by the buildings themselves. Eyes staring at you from every rooftop. You feel the gaze constantly as you navigate the medieval streets and squares. These style of dormers seem to have made their appearance around the 15th century as a way to ventilate their attic spaces. The Baroque style, with its grand facades and ornate detailing, gives Cebu its timeless charm, making it one of Romania's most beautiful cities.